Premium. Nice to see you. How you doing? Welcome to my channel. I am Art Walker. This is my humble art channel, and today we will be studying how to draw feet. So if you're not aware of my channel, welcome to you. Moose, how you doing? How you doing? Dream Walker's back in the house. A few not old faces, not like mine old. I mean, like, you know, members of the gang. Good evening, good morning on this side. It's good morning here. So how you doing, Dream? We're not related, by the way. I don't think so anyway. How you doing, Faye? The goat. Long time. How you been? So today I'm gonna take you through. Is everything good with regards to the lighting and so on? Is everything good? Just let me know if there's any issues there. Good stuff. Right. So I'm good, thank you. Yes, I will be working this afternoon, and I thought I would just do a quick one on how to draw. Is the camera blurry? I'm just going to check something quickly because I want to make sure that everything is looking good, especially when I want to post the video again. Excuse me. Just have a quick wipe here. You never know. Good. So, not sure. Just looks a little bit blurry for me, but I hope it's okay for you. Lighting's good. Okay, so to those that are in the room, what we're going to study today, right? I'm going to break down how to draw feet, right? And maybe people might, I don't really need to know how to draw feet. But I find that when you know how to draw feet, you can draw the shoes better. Or when you draw a person, you can draw the feet on that person better. So for me, it's just, you don't have to know all the bones in the toes and all that. That is not important. However, just to understand, like, so for example, we're going to talk about where the bones, or the joints, where they fold, for example, here and here. Do you see what I'm saying? So then we can start to play around with stretching the foot, bending it wherever we need to bend it, like here and here, and also bending the ankle that way. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why we are going to study this, and then we'll study the foot in a very basic form, and then gradually add more and more detail to it. And then hopefully you'll be able to say, okay, well, if this is our foot shape and we're happy with that, then we can add some sort of shoe around that foot. And then when we add our creases onto the boot or whatever it may be, it makes it look a lot more realistic. Let me just finish that off quickly. So you see, we've got a nice position here for a boot that is over a foot. And then we can add some cool lighting and stuff like that. So that's the goal. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please help me by doing so and sharing the live. And I hope you all have got a pen and paper ready for action, because now it's going to kick off. So I'm going to let you guys grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, whatever you wish. And let's get into this. So, good. And thank you for sharing the live. So, I'm not sure at what level everyone is at, right? So, when I draw a foot from the front, if this is the shin bone, I usually draw it like this for speed purposes, right? So, this is what I would normally, when I draw a person, this would actually be the shin to the knee, right? So let me just write shin, just so you know. And that would be the knee here. That's how I draw people, right? We don't need much more information than that. I'm just trying to grab something here very quick. This might do it. Like so. You see that? This is what we've got here. shin to foot, right? As you can see again here, I've just drawn a simple triangular shape for the foot. That's all we need when we're sketching up. So, but now we're going to go a little bit deeper, right? So if you imagine, oh wow, thank you very much for those kind gifts, JT, J Tubble. So let's project some lines across like this, right? If that was the shin from the front, we've got the ankle here, then we would be looking at, whoops, let me sharpen that, lengthen that a little bit more, the foot like so. Right, so this would be our ankle, this would be our heel, this is the top of the foot, and this is where the toes would belong. So now we've got a front profile and we've got a side profile of the foot. Is everyone got that? Is everyone understanding that? Yeah, everyone getting that? And if you like what you see, please hit the like button and share it. That would be great. Is everyone getting that? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, good. So now, when you look at the foot, it does have a, what I suppose you could call it a foot shape, right? But it actually is a wedge shape. So if we're drawing a foot, right, what I would do is, if I'm drawing a foot just straight from the bottom, right, I just draw a semi-curved line. I think of where the ball of the foot would be, right? So I've curved it here, I've curved it here. I think where the heel would be, then I connect everything together. So now I've got something that resembles a foot directly from the bottom, right? So we're going to add our toes. Don't add a straight line here. Bend this line again because the toes gradually get smaller. Right? So this is the big toe, and then we have the corresponding smaller toes. No, not distracting. No, not at all. I'm glad you enjoyed it yesterday. I hope you learnt a lot. So if you don't know how to draw a foot from the bottom, I would draw it now. This is going to help you later on. You have to understand the mechanics of the foot and just basic how it contours and how it bulges. So I would try and draw a foot now. I'll do it again. I'm going to draw not too curved. Don't curve it too much. Not banana curved. Then here, this represents the top of the foot without the toes. Here we have the ball of the foot, and it literally takes up half of the foot, the ball of the foot. And then we have our arc in our foot here, and then we add the heel. So that's the kind of shape you're looking for. A basic shape, right? Obviously I haven't added any contours and dips, and here we arc it again downwards because the smaller toe is right down here, let's say, and then we have the other toes following. And then after that we could actually add some more contours and some cool shading to make it look a little bit more realistic. But if you're looking for fine art, this is not a fine art tutorial. It's just a basic understanding tutorial, how to understand how to draw feet. Fine art is something totally different. Right, so I'm going to wait a moment, see how everyone's getting on. I'm just going to tidy these toes up. I'm going to shade that because it would be darker there. And then we have another cool looking foot. Would you not agree? Is everyone understanding that? Is everyone understanding that? Thank you for the follows, by the way, to those that are following. And to those that are not following, maybe you should think about it, because I have around 80 videos just like this on how to draw certain things. Yesterday we did the ears, the nose. So there's a few things you can learn. So that is how you will be. Subusi. You will be. You just have to follow me. You'll be this good. You'll be better. That's what I hope. Yeah, kinda. What don't you understand, Kayla? What don't you understand? Let's do it again. One more foot. I'm going to do it slightly larger so you guys can see. I'm going to do it slightly larger. So, curved line. Not too banana curved, as I said. And we're going to curve the top. And in fact, I've just learned something. What we're going to do is we're going to keep it wider here. This is good. I'm happy. I've just learned something. And if you imagine we've got a rectangle that thins at the bottom, like so. So draw that. I've just worked that out. That's because of you, Kayla. So we've got a rectangle that is wider at the top. You hated drawing things. Well, you know, there's a lot of things I hate drawing, actually. And good morning. And sometimes the things I hate, I just sit down and actually draw because I hate them so much. Sibu, sorry, Sibu. I just, you know what? When I see the names, I just make it up as I go along. Sorry. So, rule number 1, we're going to work with this rectangle shape. I didn't have that prepared before, but that's okay. So now what we're going to do is you can find the middle of the foot like so and draw an elliptical shape. The heel we will just simply draw as a circle, and then we will connect the heel to the ball of the foot, and then we will round off the top there. Look at that baby. It's not a baby, by the way. It's not a baby. This doesn't look like a baby. Is everyone getting that? So now you have to imagine we have 1 to 5 toes usually. We have our 5 toes. Big toe, 1, and then we're going to go 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we have a pretty cool foot. Is everyone getting that? And if you're not getting it, please say. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel and you appreciate what I'm doing, please subscribe to that. That would help me a lot because I'm doing this for free to help everyone else. So if you want to help me, tell your friends, grandmother, grandfather. So I'm going to outline that box because that was wicked. I didn't realize that before. And that is wicked. I'm going to write that rectangle for future reference. Rectangle. And then I'm going to go minus, plus. So that would be the thickness. There you go. See, I'm working it all out myself. I don't get it right every time, but this is a little bit of fine tuning that we can definitely work with. So, and then add a little bit of shading. Lovely jubbly. You can't find it. It's called Art Walker. Yeah, thank you, Mitty. It's linked in the profile, but it's just called Art Walker. You must find it there. There's literally 80 videos, literally 80 plus videos. So thank you to anyone that is subscribing. That will help me a lot. If we stick together, we'll get this. We'll be able to be on the right track, and everybody's going to be happy. I'm just fiddling around there. Good. So that's from the top. Sorry, that's from the bottom. So now, as you saw here, I drew a foot from the side, right? So I'm going to draw a foot from the side again, but I'm going to do it a lot larger. So, as I've drawn it here, we have our shin bone coming down here, all right? It connects to the foot We have tendons connecting it to the foot and so on. So I'm just going to keep this really, really basic, but it is quite complex. If you look at my hand drawing images, the bones of the feet are very similar to the ones that we've got in our hands, but we don't need to know that. This is not an anatomy tutorial. So what I want you to do now is simply draw this wedge shape. Simply draw that wedge shape. Let me know when you've done it. You found it. Oh, good, good. Thank you to all those that are subscribing to my YouTube. That is very nice of you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dream Walker. Yeah, so you're done, right? So now, this is a foot from the side. All that's missing are the toes, right? And as I said, we're not going to go into the bones of the toes. We can touch on it very, very quickly because it's very similar to the hand, right? So now, here we have the ball of the foot here. So that would be here. Here we could say that is the heel, the heel of the foot is here. The ball of the foot is here. Is here. This is where we have this arc in our foot. You see that? That's where the arc is in our foot. This is our shin bone here. This is our shin bone going up like so. And then here, this would be connecting to our calf. So that would be our Achilles going up into the calf. And obviously we have our toes here. Is everyone getting that? Is everyone getting that? I'm just going to wait a little bit. Thank you, Mitty. I'm happy to see that. Dreamwalker's got it. Good. So now, if we want to draw a foot at an angle, you simply draw the same objects at an angle. For example, here, ball of the foot, heel. We can join it all up. See, my wedge again is here, right? I'm just drawing my wedge. I draw the arc of the foot here. Then I add the toes. Ankle. Oops, I should have pushed that over a little bit. I'm going to push that over. The ankle should actually be here. That's my bad. The ankle should be here. And then we have here our Achilles. That's my mistake there. So now we have a foot at an angle going upwards that way. Thank you, Amber. That's nice. Yeah. That's very nice. If you really want to support me, just hit the share button and definitely subscribe to my YouTube. That's all I ask. See, so now we've got a heel that is lifted off the floor. Yeah? And if you do join my YouTube, you've got 80 videos. There's plenty of work to do. Trust me, there's plenty of work to do. Plenty of work to do. There you go. So now we've got a pretty accurate looking foot there. I was hired yesterday by an anime called Naruto. Really? Mate, you need to get me on board. Really? Well, congratulations are in order. Well done. I'm going to have to look at your work now, Mustafa. So where are you working then? Is it in I don't know, Japan or somewhere? I don't know. So anyway, I'm an artist that struggles with angles and stuff. Oh, good. The problem. Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm happy. We're all learning, aren't we? It helps. Brilliant. Good stuff. Just hit the share, thank you. Just hit the share. Oh, good. Congratulations. Congratulations. Right. So everyone's got that, right? So now, remember, this wedge, I'm going to highlight it in green, right? Just so we can understand what we're talking about. So this green wedge here. Think of that as a block. I didn't draw it here, but I'm going to draw it again here. See that? So what you have to do is imagine this block as a 3D object. Like so. That gives you, oops, that's a little bit off there. Like so, there you go. This is a little bit too thick. The foot is not normally this thick, but you have to imagine it like that kind of block. And then obviously we'd have the toes on the front here. All right, so this is the block shape that we're imagining here. Yeah, I've done tons of videos, mate. Cheers, Mitty, I'm the GOAT. Yeah, unfortunately, I TikTok don't really like me. I post things now and somehow they've taken me off the algorithms. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm migrating somewhere else, because they're not actually supporting my work, if I'm honest. So this is why I am encouraging people to look elsewhere, because I'm going to be going down that road more than this road. I'm really steering clear of this platform soon. So enough of that. So what you have to now think about is, right, where was I? So yes. So think of this wedge shape and try to draw this wedge shape a few times. Just like that. Just draw this wedge shape and then understand that this is a foot. You see? And then you add your toes here. Do you see my point? So now you know the ball of the foot is here. The heel is roughly here. And then you've got the shape for your foot. Yeah, I post things now and they literally get, sometimes overnight, 6 views. And I've got 24,000 followers. It's a bit strange. That's why I can't be bothered. This is what I don't like about being online. And oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you very much for that, Shell Energy. Yeah, that's why I don't like, because you can't gauge if you're doing the right thing, because they can just switch you on and off as they wish. And I got to the point where I was going to stop this, actually. I was nearly going to stop doing this. Thank you, Ayana. That was very nice of you. And I was planning on stopping, but my goal is to help others. That's why I do it for free. I've got a job. I don't get paid anything for this. For maybe 1 hour, if I don't receive any gifts for maybe 1 hour, I will receive 0.01 whatever pence. Do you know what I mean? So if people see that, I'm not here to exploit anyone, because I am not. I'm doing this literally for nothing. Literally. So, okay, let's break that down. So we broke it down quite well here. So we can see our wedge shape. I thank you. Oh, that's nice. Thank you for the contribution. That is much appreciated. And as you see, I don't even ask people to do that. I don't say hit the like button, I don't do it. Because it should bother me. And you guys should be hitting the like button. You should be hitting it. Because you should want to encourage me to keep going. Because I was that close to giving up. Really. I was like, no, I can't be bothered with this. So there you go. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and stick at it. Because I'm doing it for the greater good. So, unfortunately, we live on a planet where people are just very greedy and pretty ugly. And nobody does anything for nothing anymore. Not for nothing, but it's sometimes you have to share. Obviously not all the time, because people like to exploit, unfortunately. Good. Right, I am going to talk about the shapes of toes. This is quite important. So, if you look at the big toe is it looks almost like a almond shape, but it's slightly broader at the bottom. So if you think of the big toe, think of it like this kind of shape. This is the shape of the big toe, right? Some people have really big toes, but usually it's roughly like that. The big toe is like that. And the big toe has one less bone than all the other toes, right? And it's very important for our feet. So if that's our foot, the ball of the foot, if I'm not mistaken, we have it here. We have the bone here. Then we have the ball of the foot. And then we have the bone in the big toe. But our other toes have one smaller bone. Something like that. But that's not important. But I'm just trying to illustrate a point there. So this is the big toe. Our little toes are very similar. I don't know if you've seen my hand drawing images, but the smaller toes are shaped like this. Like this. And then we have our foot here. Because we've got one more extra bone in the toe. So it's almost like that kind of shape. It's quite tricky. It's quite a tricky one. But we're not going to go too much into that because it's it's maybe too much information as well. That's the joints. Those are the joints and so on. But that would be here. Do you do this often? I just found you. Yes, I've been doing this for the last year, not a year yet, 11 months. If you jump on my YouTube, you find 85 videos just like this, covering different aspects. And if you haven't seen what I do, you should check it out. Check out what I do. Because this is not my what do you call it? Cool stuff. I've got a lot of cool stuff. And thank you very much for the follow. Set like goals and it will boost the live. Oh, yeah? So okay, let me set a goal. You see, I don't know all of this. I don't know all of this stuff. I'm going to pin something. I'll just pin something. Ah, okay. What do I do with this goal stuff? You see, this is what I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to add a gift. I'm just going to hit something, whatever that is. Confirm. So this is your fault now. If I keep adding all these rubbish gifts. There you go. I don't even know what that Benny Carr thing is. I don't even know what that is. I'm going to put another one there. Because of that. Yeah, there you go. So. Thank you, Law. Thank you. Right. Okay. Okay. Anyone got any questions about that? Anyone got any questions? I'm just going to wait a moment. What is my YouTube? Art Walker. I kept the name the same. It's called Art Walker. And I'll just grab something very quickly. If you're not aware of my work, I've just grabbed my. This is my cyberpunk, I think. This is the kind of stuff that I draw. So if you're not aware of what I do, we are just going through some mechanics with regards to the feet. These are all original characters. This is how I draw hands. And this one was drawn without reference, hand, leg. This was drawn in 30 minutes. And that was during a live. So you can watch me draw that live in 30 minutes. I drew that. I'm just going to fly through very, very quickly, just so you guys can get an idea as to what I do. Oh, that was quite a good one, actually. Anatomy stuff. So, and then I do a lot of anime, females, faces. This is Black Panther, my version. So this is where you see the anatomy kick in. Deadpool. And so on. These are older sketches. These are all older sketches. So this is just one folder. I've got about 8 of these. All different. Females, anime, and so on. Good. Let's get back to it. Right. We were here. So, now, has anyone got any questions quickly before we continue? Do you have any tips on poses? You have to find on my YouTube. You'll have to find that on my YouTube. I'm not doing poses. I stick to one subject because then it gets complicated. But I have done, and I've posted one already on YouTube on how to draw different poses. Definitely done that already. Anatomy tips, yes, just follow me because I draw a lot of anatomy. Anatomy is one of my go-to things if you haven't seen my work. Right, so let's get back to it. Let's sketch up. Let's do a better version of this foot here, right? So, remember the wedge shape? So we have our wedge shape here. That's the idea. We need to get that wedge shape kind of tight in our mind. Because then all we need to do is, one thing I forgot to say, you have to remember that the big toe, excuse me, is a 3-dimensional object. I didn't say that earlier on. I got a little bit distracted, but it's all good. So you have to imagine that the big toe is a 3-dimensional object. It's not flat, right? So you have to think of it as something with a mass. You see like this? You can see this would be a toe of some description, right? And that's what we're going to add here. So when you add the front of your foot where your toes are, give it a thickness. You see? And now we have the ball of the foot here. Let's add the heel here and so on. Now we have our foot. I'm going to add the toes. And as I said, they've got one more bone. So that means there's one more bend. So I'm going to go up and back. Up and back. Up and back. And now we've got, and the smaller toe, the smallest toe, probably won't even see it. And that's how we draw a foot. A tip for a village. I have no idea. A villain. Oof. I don't know. I've never been asked that question before. Never been asked that question. I have no idea. I don't even know what the book's about. Or what what time zone it is. Is it, I don't know, medieval? Is it? I have no idea. Sorry, mate, I can't help you. Move the page up a little bit. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is in the mid. Can you not see this? Can you guys not see this? That's really odd. Can you guys not see this? What words? And now? I can see it. Well, there is nothing on the screen apart from my pencil. I really don't get that. I can see. Yeah. Okay. You guys have to check your screens because maybe it's on your side. The chat. But my chat is not even on this. It's not even near this because I can see the full screen. I have no idea what to do with that. I don't know how. Okay, let me try and shift it slightly. I have no idea. And now? The comments. No, I'm on the computer, mate. Hold on. And now? See, now I can't see the chat myself. Right, I've pushed it right to the side. But is that not on your side? The comments bar, maybe you need to shift your comments bar because my comments bar is not here. My comments bar is on the right. It's over there. That is so odd. I don't know how that can be because my phone is actually just filming this. I don't know how to do that. Okay. I've never had that before. I've never had that before. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You guys have to swipe it, no? Because I can't change anything. I can't even see if anyone's giving me gifts anymore because I've pushed everything to the right. So, yeah, yes, swipe to the right and the comments will disappear. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I really don't know how to help you. I'm sorry. So we are digressing slightly. What was I going to cover? Because I don't want to lose my flow. Right. Okay. So now, oof, 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 oof. Right. Let's go. Let's go. I've kind of lost my flow a little bit here. So now, right, I'm doing the wedge shape again. And as you can see, I'm sketching it out this time. I'm not as rigid as before. I'm placing the big toe and then I'm placing the corresponding or the smaller toes here. You see, this is how you can start sketching up your feet. Because you know what frame you've got. You know roughly the shape of the foot. You know where the heel is. You know where the Achilles obviously is at the back, but you know where the ankle belongs. And this will help you. This is quite a large foot, as you can see. But this will help you sketch your feet up. You've got the arc of the foot here. You got the ankle here, the bend in the ankle here. See, that is our goal. Oh man, I do a lot of hand drawing ones. Unbelievable. Go to my YouTube. There's one there, and it takes around 3 minutes. There's one on there. There's hand drawing. Oh, this is a bit of a bad. Well, the copy's not great because I was using this for something else. But hand drawing is one of the things I like doing. Actually, I do like drawing hands. But check my YouTube, you'll find it on there. So does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? So now what am I going to do? I'm going to draw a few feet. Because I'm now thinking wedge, I'm thinking heel, and then I'm thinking toes. You see that? I'm thinking heel, I'm thinking foot, arc, wedge, and then I'm thinking toes. That's how you get that flow with regards to how to draw feet. That's what I do. Yeah, if you've tagged me in TikTok, you can tag me. Show me it. I like to see people's artwork, if I'm honest. Thank you, Furfu. Do I take requests? What kind of requests? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Will you do drawing on hands? I will do one on hands, but if you check my YouTube, that one will help you 100%. 100%. And I look forward to seeing it, by the way. Like what to draw? No, I used to, but not anymore. Not anymore. Because I can't draw everything. The other day, someone asked me to draw a cat, and it ended up looking a little bit like a pig. So I'm not going to put myself on the spot like that all the time. Yeah, it was and someone joined the live and they said, "Oh, have you still got the picture of the pig cat?" And I was like, "Oh, it was funny though." No, I'm not drawing Adele. No, Adele. No, I'm not drawing Adele. Right, okay, so let's not digress. So look, heel, foot, ball of the foot, toes. And then we can, Achilles would be here roughly. So that means our shin would be here. And then you can add all your toes onto that. You see? I'm sure that helps a lot. Because that's how I draw feet. I just think, where is the heel? Where do I want the ball of the foot to be? And then I add the front. And then the ankle. See that? And I think you just have to understand those basic principles and then put them into action. Practice drawing feet in different positions. Bend, you know exactly where it should bend. That would be at the ball of the foot. Obviously, you have to choose what angle you want the foot to be at. You know exactly where toes belong. Big toe takes up quite a bit of space. And then you add your heel. I'm making, this is a little bit ultra dynamic. But that's basically what you need to do to learn. Anyone got any questions? I'm going to scribble away as I do. Not in this live stream, no. I don't mix the live streams. Gotta go to work. Okay. Cheers, Voodoo. Voodoo Viking. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. You were with me for 45 minutes. That's really nice of you. I've been told to identify shape from real photo, but I don't think I'm doing it right. Well, it's like anything. If you identify the shape like we did here, like here, it's a very basic shape. If you identify anything as a basic shape, whether it's a face or a head, if I'm identifying a head as a basic shape, I'm just going to identify the head like this. You see that? Once you identify it as a basic shape, then you start to add all your details, and then all of a sudden you've got a human head. And bear in mind, it started like this. Basic shape. And then we remove part of it. And that was the basic shape that I started with. That became that. In the same way that I said, if you're drawing the toes, recognize it as a basic shape. So it's almost like a diamond shape here for the big toe. Or you could say it's a slightly fattened oval shape, or, you know, it's like a, depends on what suits you, you know, what you can identify with, I suppose. I think the tip of this toe here is a little bit wide, so I would probably reduce it like so. But we identify that it has a thickness, the toe has a thickness. Curvy coffin. There you go. C'est quoi? What? J'ai rien compris. Oh. I don't understand everything that he said, but it's something about you don't understand, or you do understand. Any advice for a beginner? Just follow my YouTube. Feet from the back. There you go. I need a question like that, because I forgot about that. So from the back, if we're drawing a foot from the back, I'm going to make... Can you guys see okay? The first thing I would draw is the heel. As you can see, I've got a very basic shape there. I'm going to draw a line running through the middle of the heel. So this is the back of the foot, right? Chances are we would see some of the front here. Like we would see the arc. And then we'd see the ball of the foot. And maybe we might even see a toe or two here. Just here, not two, but a toe. Because the foot is not going to be directly. So if you imagine, this is the ball of the foot is here. The arc is here. The heel is here. And then all we have to do is add our Achilles and calf. And now we have a foot from behind. And then we can add our ankle. And that would be, for me, a foot from behind. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, I think you should. Especially if you've sat through this, how many minutes? 50-minute leg drawing tutorial. Not leg drawing, foot drawing tutorial. Because I'm sure you've learned something. So if you want to support me, that would be much appreciated. Because I am here trying to help others. That's my goal. And then that's how you draw a foot from behind. Okay. How long have I've been drawing seriously for the last 11 months. I never used to draw like this before, but now I'm drawing seriously, and I'm just experimenting with different techniques, and I've actually got my own goals with regards to artwork. I didn't have any goals with regards to artwork before. I used to just draw, right? So now I've got my own goals, and I've got my own platform, and I'm just going to try and build that up and see where it goes from there, instead of having a room full of drawings that no one's seeing. So here we go. I've just drawn another raised foot from behind. I'll draw it again here. See, we've got the foot. So we got our surface. Excuse me. I draw the ball of the foot here. I raise the heel, and I add the heel, and then I add the details. So I've got a foot here similar to this one that is raised off the floor, and then you would add the ankle details. We have the heel and so on. Just like that here. Ball of the foot, and then the calf. It's getting a bit messy now. It's getting a bit messy, as it always seems to do. Sorry about that. Oh, you're welcome, chilling. I hope you're going to help me by subscribing, everyone. You don't get it. What don't you get? You have to tell me what you don't get. Would you say goals help? Yes, but set realistic ones. Are people with flat-footed different? Well, a flat foot is just a less of an arc here. They've just got less of an arc here. That's basically what it is, if I'm not mistaken. Cheers, W. Cheers. How the foot. I go live too early. I be like, want my son to watch your live. Ah, yeah. Okay, yeah. It's family friendly, mate. It's very family friendly. So your son can watch, no problem at all. How the foot like that? I'm not sure what you mean. Not sure what you mean. I'm just gonna, let me just draw one here quickly. I'm running out of time here. Running out of time. 2, 3, 4. Do you understand what I've drawn here now? It's a very quick example of the wedge shape that we understood earlier. We have the ball of the foot here, and then we can add the shin bone. Ah, you get it. A front view. Well, I hope you're thinking about this yourself. I hope you are thinking about this yourself. Your wedge shape, because that's all I'm doing. Maybe I haven't even drawn this like this for a very long time. Depends what foot you're talking about, left or right. You just have to draw your wedge shape at a 3/4 view. You see what I'm saying? I've just drawn my wedge shape, 3/4 view, and that's how I will draw that foot. Obviously, I'd pay a little bit more attention to details, but that's how I would do it. See it? wedge. Let's draw the wedge, 3/4. Anything that you want to draw at 3/4, draw it basic. Like so. This is a bit fat. Let's thin it down a little bit. And then we add our toes. And as I said, remember that they are 3D objects. And then we add the rest of the toes here. But if you're struggling with the toes, you might have to do a bit of a toe study. And then you can round everything off nicely. And then you've got a little bit more of a realistic looking foot. It's better when I change the color, then you can see it a little bit better. See that? And I literally just started that with a wedge shape. Quickly, just very quickly. He's the best. Cool. Your son, I take it. You see that? The wedge shape is important. Once you understand what to do with that, then you know how to draw feet. And that's what I would practice. Literally just do that. Random wedge shapes like that and turn it into a foot. Just like that. And obviously, you know, proportion, you can correct it. It doesn't matter. The thing that you have to do is just keep practicing it, grafting it. And then once you start to understand it, then you start to consider, okay, right, let me get the proportion right. That can come later on. I find it's important to understand the mechanics first. And then after that, you can fine tune it and make it nice and slim and don't try and study too many things at once. It might get a little bit confusing. From behind, I literally just did that. I'm running into my last 2 minutes now. So we draw a foot from behind, directly from behind like so. I would just start it like that. If this is our floor surface, this is our Achilles, and this is the foot slightly turned inwards. And we would see a little bit of the big toe. And then obviously we need to add our ankles. And then we can add our calf. Whoops, bit of a muscular calf there. There you go. See that? So we do the same again. So that is our heel. Let's turn it in. We're going to turn the foot outwards a little bit. Ball of the foot, toe. Now I need to be careful because it's going to look like it's got a broken leg because I've really turned the angle here. So this line is not correct anymore. Ankle is here. And then we see a little bit more of the calf here. See, I've shifted the angle. I shouldn't have done that. It should be a bit more like that. You see my point? Let me use it. It's gone into this green here. This line is a bit misleading. Let me just do that again. heel, Achilles, calf, oh, I've got that wrong. That is a fail. That is a fail. I need to get rid of that. I've got that wrong. Excuse me. There you go. We're all learning. I've got the mechanics wrong there. It should be like this. Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah, that was a bit too high. But there you go. That just shows you have to understand it. You have to play around with it, because I don't get it right every time, but even if you get it wrong, it's part of learning. That's all part of learning. You're going to get it wrong from time to time. Oh, dude. Oh, thank you for that. That's funny. Yeah, that just went a bit wrong there. Yeah, it went a bit wrong. But, cheers, mate. Well, you finally seen me. So, there you go. I'm going to practice now. There you go. You see? There you go. You're getting there. Yeah, this line is important. That line was throwing me off. I threw myself off with that line there. But then you start to pick it up. The more you do it, the more you start to find your flow. And I do that a lot. I practice a lot, and just keep moving, make a mistake, keep moving. And obviously like this, I'll say, oh, this foot is really, really broad. But you know what you can do. You work out your work and say to yourself, how can I improve that? What's wrong? What's in the wrong spot? Always ask yourself questions to see how you can improve it. Yeah, well, this is drawing, right? Drawing will, I'll tell you, it will upset you. Drawing will upset you, but you just have to overcome it, and keep soldiering on. You just have to really, it's learning by doing. You will make mistakes, and you just have to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. How you doing, Samuel? And then say, for example, here, when you've got like, I'm just going to add it to this just very quickly before I go. If you add a shoe to this foot here, right, you're going to add the heel and stuff like that. Then you'll know exactly where, say, for example, you might want to add the folds in a boot or whatever, the shoe that they're wearing. You know exactly where the folds should be. So if this is a boot that we're adding to this character, we're going to add the folds exactly where the foot actually bends. Do you see that? So that's important, because then you can add, I'm just blitzing this really quickly because I'm running out of time. But I know here we should have some heavy folds. Here we're going to have some heavy folds. This is the heel. I know where the heel belongs. And now I've just literally drawn a shoe or a boot around this character's foot. See that? That might help. So that's the front of this shoe's a bit thick, but it doesn't matter. We can tidy that up if it's some sort of cyberpunk. What? Because I've got other things to do. I did one on wrinkles 2 days ago. I did a tutorial on wrinkles. So check my YouTube. That is one I literally did 2 days ago. If you missed any of my lives, there was eye drawing. Tons of eye drawing. There was, what was there? What else did I do? Ear. How to draw the ear. Ah, here it is. How to draw the ear. So if you missed that one, that's on my YouTube. On how to draw the nose. That's on my YouTube. And how, there you go. That's it. Found it. How to draw wrinkles. That's all I can, that's all, the only thing I can say is to join my YouTube and you'll find all of that. Good. So I have to leave. I have other things to do, work-wise as well. I might be back later on. Not sure what tutorial I'm going to do yet. Probably do something on shading. Yeah, it's all on my YouTube. Check it all out. You'll find all of them there. You see me explaining. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some videos without narration. Like this one, I'm narrating through it. But I'm going to do some videos where it's just, I'm drawing a foot. Just quietly drawing a foot, talking about it and stuff like that. I haven't found the time to record anything yet. But I will be doing that. Because I do so many lives, you see. That's the problem. I do so many lives that it's hard for me to... I don't find the time to do videos as such because I'm always doing lives. So there you go. And I do a lot of leg, as you can see, leg drawing tutorials. And what I tend to do is I like to break the body parts down. So if you are struggling with anatomy, I literally break it down, bone from the bone to the muscle, and then I attach what I would do is I would attach a cylinder to this. Like, for example, if this is a leg, I would attach a cylinder to it, and then I would attach the muscle. So if you like that kind of stuff, you're in the right place. Because as you can see, I've just blitzed this in 30 seconds. It looks like the Hulk, actually. It actually looks like the Hulk's leg. But you can see where I come from and the way I work. And if you like that kind of style, then you're in the right place. Oh, no, you go to my YouTube. My YouTube is Art Walker. Do you have tutorial on... I have. Literally. You have to check it. And in fact, I was planning on doing a lip drawing tutorial, a complicated one. Oh God, I can't even find... There you go. So then this is an easy one. And then I'm going to do a tutorial on more complicated lip positions. So if you are interested in that one, that's coming up. But that's what I did the other day. 24th of the 10th, if you missed that. There you go. And I've got another one planned for more complicated lips. I can't find it though. So, I hope you all enjoyed this. And just give me a moment. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes, and I'll just run to the boys' room. And if you've got a question, just ask me now. Oh, that's hands. I was clenched fists. That's another tutorial coming up. If you want to learn how to draw a fist closed, you're in the right spot. 1 minute, I'll be back. So, sorry about that. Good. Okay, so no questions. Okay, so I'm going to wish you all a lovely day. Thank you to all that contributed to this live stream by just talking, saying hello, and thank you to all that gave me these fantastic gifts. Have a great day. Maybe you'll see me in an hour or so. I might jump on quickly before I go to work. So spread the word. Have a good day. I hope it helped you, and see you all again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.